All right, here we go. So I want to do a quick Figma walkthrough for just those of you struggling to get started or, I don't know, this is just what I'm going to do. So when you hop onto Figma, it comes to this, and this is, of course, after you make an account and have all that. And then what I like to do is because I'm big on planning. It's what we've done in this course. It's what is part of this assignment is having that plan, that framework before you begin. So we're going to plop up here and just hit the design. So being that we're in the design, it means we're going to start from scratch, right? We're not using a template. We're not using AI. We're going to start from scratch. Okay. Now, if you remember the first video I sent out about this, it was figure out your resolution. Are you doing it for a mobile device? Are you doing it for an iPad, etc.? All of that. So we are going to do this. It's going to be just like a coffee thing, okay? And to begin, I don't want to name anything yet. I just want to get that first instance out there to get my mind right that this is mobile and this is what we're looking for. So down here, frame, okay? I'm going to click that because this is a singular page within Figma that's going to have multiple frames that we're going to navigate to. Yours is going to be the same. I'm going to do 1415 Pro, and boom. Now I have all this. What I would really like that you do, now that we have this started, is let's name everything, okay? So pretty simple. Most often you can just double click, which I can do here. So I double clicked on top, and I'm going to call this home. Over here, I think I'm going to, I giggled at this earlier. So coffee, oh, see there it is, coffee mate. That's what I'm going to call this, a coffee mate, okay? So here we are. What do we do now? Some things that you can do is I just did Command minus on my keyboard, and what it did is zoomed out so I could see what it's going on. So that's not a big deal. But you could also hold in Command and just scroll with your mouse and all that to get it to a specific size. I like it here. I can see everything. Here I go. First things first, we want to name it. You're going to want to do the same. Text, okay? Text tool, boom. Just tap it up here, start typing. Coffee mate. Oh, wait, that's right. I was going to use the number 8. Coffee M, number 8. Okay? What we're going to see is once we have something on stage, the properties off to the right are just going to mimic whatever I have highlighted. So I want this to be in the middle. I'm okay with most of this other stuff. Opacity's fine. There's different font that I want to use. I'm going to go pretty big on this. Got to go back up here now that I've made it that much bigger and center it again. Oh, it looks like I did pretty good. You can change the color of it, right? So I'm trying to look for like a coffee color. And then I think I want to put a stroke on it. This is going to be a longer video for those of you interested, but there's that, okay? Beautiful. Super excited about all this. I do maybe want to do something with my background here, right? My page background. See, it says page. So I could do this and let's see, where is it? Here we go. So I have my whole page, this home figured out. So I'm going to come down here and I want to do a gradient and maybe radial. There. See? How'd that look? Great. Okay, now I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do some stuff here. So I want to do maybe, I think I have rectangle still. Yeah, so I'm going to do a rectangle here. Do it something like that. So now all of these things stay the same to a degree. So anytime you want to align it a certain way, just go ahead and hit that button. What I like to do here is, look at this. Like I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a rounded. Okay, just making shapes. I'll keep the opacity there. I don't want that color though. Maybe I'll do like an orange again. All right, spending too much time. Okay. And then now maybe I want to put an image on this, right? Obviously I want to do some sort of coffee. Okay. So notice down here, these arrows, I can do a line, arrow, but then I have this image video. Let's see. Image, where's my one? My coffee. Boom. And it says click to drag to place. So I'm going to do that. Oh, you son of a gun, you. I didn't want it to go inside of my shape like that. Or maybe I did. Well, let's see if we like it this time again. Okay, there we go. Well, isn't that pretty? See, what we're kind of designing that first page, that get going type thing. But here's what I want you to do as well. I'm going to click on home, and you see my pages. I have page 1. That's what we're at. This is Coffee Mate is page 1. But then underneath it is layers. Okay, these are going to be the different frames that we make. And I'm a big fan of labeling. So right now it says coffee. I'm going to call this coffee image. This is rectangle, so I'm going to call it pick BG. Okay. Title. That one's fine because I know what it is. But you see how it's here? And I can actually move these. So if I wanted, see, it's a layer thing, just like we've done with most of our tools. It's all hierarchy. Okay. Now, moving on, I definitely need to get going here, right? I need some sort of call to action. So I'm going to stay here on my home. I'm going to grab I'm going to go back to a rectangle. I'm going to draw it right here. Okay. I will again mess with the corner radius. So you saw how there was a circle here that I pulled. On these smaller ones, it sometimes doesn't do it. So I can go to my corner radius and make that, I'll just say 10. That's fine, right? I want this to be black, so it's just that contrast so you can see it. I do want a stroke on it. I don't mind it being white. And odd thing about the stroke is right now it's on the inside. I'll go outside and make it about 3. Okay, so nothing crazy here. I'm just kind of doing stuff and things. I want this to have some, so I'm going to hit T for text, and then it's going to call it start. Should I call it start order? Yes, start order. Just a bit big, as you can see. So I have to come over here and look for my, whoa, now it's too small. Where'd it go? Oh, here. There. Okay, so now we're good. Now we kind of have that first thing going. You're going to have to do the same thing. Have some sort of design and get things going. Now we have to go somewhere else. I don't know if some of you have the habit or just, I see this right here. It says pages plus. I'm thinking, all right, I just made a page. I'm going to go to another page then, so I should do that. You don't want to do that. You want to stick in this design mode, and all you want to do is hit frame again, and remember which one you hit. So we did the 1415 Pro, and there you go. Okay? So this next one is going to be, we want to start the order. So it was home, so we're going to call this one, double click, call it start order, and boom, it says start order over here. So I'm going to hide home, but see that? Start order, things are happening. I want to keep my thing, so I'm going to Command C. You see that? Come down here, make sure there's blue around it so you know it's highlighted. Command V. Things are happening, okay? This is nothing more than our title. We just want to roll with it. Let's see, I do want to keep kind of the look and feel of that gray, so I'm going to come down here, do the same thing, get my gradient, change it to radial. Okay, wonderful. I think I'm just going to keep doing this. Command C, come down here. Just want to keep that flow, except I want this to be, you know what? I'm going to keep it that color, okay? So now it's different. Now everything we've done so far was, I don't know, we did do an image. So let's do the same thing now. Okay, watch this. We are here. I want this to be highlighted. And now I want to kind of do more to this. I want to, have a selection. So I'll go to image video again. What do I have? I have my Dunkin', Command, my Starbucks, and my Tim Hortons, okay? So Tim, Starbucks, Dunkin'. And all you have to do is grab these accordingly, and here we go. It's obviously got to fit. Okay. A little bit smaller yet. Tim Hortons. And the last one here is Dunkin'. Now, as you can imagine, I went and put together these images already. That's why it's so quick for me to get it. But you would do the same thing, right? Have your images ready, all of that. So here we are. We are good to go. Now we think, again, we're talking about user experience, right? This is the big part of what Figma is user experience. So we know when we're on this one, okay, there could be information here, but it's just the title, kind of introducing what it is. Maybe we could put more information on this later, like, order wherever, blah, blah, blah. But for now, it's just obviously coffee mate, start order. And then we come down here, and I'm going to keep using the word obvious, and it might not be, but whatever. So now we're going to say what? You want to choose where you want to order from, right? So with that being said, the user experience here is we want them to either click on Starbucks, Tim Hortons, or Dunkin'. So it's this idea now beginning to organize and kind of that architecture or that wireframe that was in one of the assignments. And here we go. So I'm going to come down here and click frame. We did 1415 Pro. I'm going to put it down. I'll put this one down here right away. Okay, this one will be called, what's the middle one? Tim. So I'm going to call this Tim Hortons. I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to click 1415 Pro. Copy paste is an option and all that stuff, but just bear with me here. So this is going to be Starbucks, right? And then of course I need one more. I'm getting that structure going. So this one over here, I'll do one more. It's going to be Dunkin' 1415 Pro. And you see, this is why it's, I'm going to move this around again. And you can see that between the, the spacing between, everything's lined up. This is why it's such a wonderful tool to prototype and have layouts and everything. Okay, so this one's going to be called Dunkin'. I'm going to come back over here. I want to see my layers. It's all happening, right? I have my Dunkin', I have my Starbucks, I have my Tim Hortons. We can move these, right? And you want to kind of keep it very well organized. What do I have? Starbucks, and then Tim Hortons in the middle, and then home is up here. Well, I'm going to pull that out. Okay, see? I mean, isn't this just kind of coming together like you would think, right? So I'm not going to quite show you just yet the prototyping part of the navigation, but for now, let's just keep going. So let's just say we're going to hit Starbucks. So we're going to come down here, and I actually have an image instead of, and this is something that you can do with prototyping, is if you're kind of mimicking an idea that's already out there, but you just want to change a bit, you can do that. So what I did here was it this one? This one? Oh, here we go. Okay, what I did was I just went ahead and went to Starbucks on my phone. That way it kind of looks like it, right? But this is a prototyping. You're just coming up with an idea, okay? And I'm going to go with some aesthetics here because I don't like that you can see my navigation. All normal stuff and things. I want to change it, so just come over here, change it to white, good to go. Okay, now copy and paste, right? So I need a call to action button again, so it's going to be a little different. I'm going to hit shift. I want to make sure I get both of these. Command C. I come down here, make sure that this is active, and Command V. There you go. Okay, so far so good. We're just kind of making some stuff and things. I don't want it to say start over this time. What do I want this to say? I'm going to say go back. Right? Go back. Because that would be the user experience at this point, is that the user would either want to carry on with Starbucks and make a selection, or they want to go back, right? Okay, so here we are so far. We will go back and double, so start over, rectangle. We don't really need to name all of it, but just so you know what it is, okay? So what if you had to go back first, right? And you wanted to move things. I just want to show you how easy it is. So click on it, and see how it becomes highlighted? So if this was down here, oh, it went away because it's now behind this white one. So that's how you move your hierarchy to make sure everybody's there. Okay, now moving on. We want to add a little bit of a navigation to this. We want to make sure that we can move forward. So I'm going to click on my button, and I'm going to go up to prototype. And once I have it, do you see what happens here? I have this little plus sign, and it comes all over the place. But all you have to do is grab one of these plus signs and drag it to where you want it to go. So in this start order, I want it to go to my start order. And then this window pops up. On tap, I want you to navigate to start order, and then you can change it. It's like you can do a dissolve, a smart animate, a move in, move out. I'll do a move in just for funsies. Okay. Okay. So we did that. Here we go. And now I'm here. So again, I'm going to hit Starbucks. And another way that you can do this, well, you know what? Since we know how to do it, let's just do it that way. So once we're on here, just go ahead and grab your arrow. Boom. I'm down here. Same thing. See how it carried over? Because the idea is to be consistent. So everything just worked. Okay. So move in. And where should this go now? Thinking about the user experience, should go back to my start order. Not my home, but my start order. Because there's no real reason to go back. But maybe here what I want to do is instead of move in, I want to move out because of the idea of going backwards. Okay? This is bare minimum stuff, but I just want to share with you and show you what's going on. Okay? So here we are. This is what we got. Let's test it. I'm going to hit play. And there's my app, my little learning thing. I'm going to hit start order. Here we go. I'm going to go to Starbucks. Oh, wait. I don't want Starbucks. You know what? I do want Starbucks. Okay? So far, so good with that one. I'm going to close that. So here we go. Continuing on, here we have now a big picture. Okay? So I'm going to say we're going to select a protein. So we got to do another frame because after you select the beverage of your choice, you're going to have to say when you want it, okay? So I'm going to hit frame again, 14. I'm going to move it over here. And I'm going to call this one when. Okay? And I don't want to get like too crazy with these things, so I'm just going to do this. So now, how do I navigate from here to here? Because depending on how in-depth you get, for instance, I could have one that navigates to one called protein, then navigate to one called hot coffee, and then navigate one to cold coffee, all of that. I could also do variables, right? But for as simple as things are going to be right now, we just want to kind of create that look and feel and that user experience. So here's what you can do, and I just clicked on rectangle. I'll put that rectangle, put it right over this, okay? Ooh, see, I do this a lot, and you probably will too. I'm still in prototype. Not a big deal, but you want to be in design when you're designing. So I have that on there, but I don't want that gray, crazy box. So just come down to your opacity and knock that down to a 1. And now it's still there, right? But you can't see it, which is great. Now this is when, so what am I on right now? I'm in Starbucks. This is when naming comes in, and naming is big because I'm going to take my when, bring it down here. Because now I want to make sure that this is, because it says rectangle 3. But again, I could have one that says protein. I could have one that says cold coffee, hot tea. So I want to make sure that says protein. That's for me moving forward. That's my organization, okay? And we can, since we're here and we know what we're doing, we can go to prototype. I can drag this down to here, okay? Everything's going to be the same, move in, all that direction. We can do everything, okay? So other things that you might want to do is components and widgets. So if you right click on this, there's other ways to do it. Oops, sorry, go back to design. I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to say, there's a component, there's all these things that you can do, but plugins, all I did was went and clicked on the component to get the calendar, right? So boom, ba-doom, create calendar, done. And it did exactly that. It created a calendar for me. I don't know why it didn't do it and put it exactly where I want, but it's not a big deal. I can just highlight the whole thing and put it here. Okay? Doesn't that look wonderful? So I don't want to get too crazy with this because this is a pretty long video, I'd imagine at this point, but this is kind of what you would do, but throughout, remember the articles or the stuff that you read, mobile versus desktop, think about that user experience, okay? What will they be doing when they're in your app? How will they navigate from here to here? And then once they're here to here, but if they make a mistake here, how do they get back here? So those are the things that you need to be doing with Figma, okay? but just, I mean, it's really just a skinny, overly done PowerPoint, okay, where we're navigating and doing all the things that we want. But that's the gist of it. If this gets you going and you can get to a certain point to submit, awesome. If this gets you going and you get stuck because you want to go more or do less, let me know and we'll Zoom and walk through it, get things done. All right? All right, great.